Is there truth in this?
No truth to any of those claims, Jake. So on the days the president was referring to there, last Wednesday and Thursday, there was not a single state that had its average gas price any lower than $2.70. So nowhere near $1.98. Now, people might say, well, the president didn't say average prices. He said prices. So maybe there were some gas stations in some states selling for $1.98. I asked the firm GasBuddy about this. GasBuddy tracks tens of thousands of stations across the country. They found zero stations anywhere in the country anywhere below $2.19. So that's wrong, too. Now, I'll add that I asked the White House about this. They not only couldn't corroborate the president's claim, but they introduced another lie in sending me a response about the previous lie. They said that if big city reporters actually went out to middle America, they would see that gas prices there are at record lows. Well, I looked into that as well, Jake. Also not true. We're nowhere near record lows anywhere in this country.
Oh, you city slicker, Daniel Dale.
Terrible.
President Trump also has been talking about egg prices, which spiked under President Biden, we should note, and President Trump, largely because of this bird flu outbreak and steps that have been taken. Here's what President Trump said on Tuesday.
We just had a big Easter egg hunt at the White House, thousands and thousands of eggs, and the price was down 87%. As you know, the cost of eggs has come down like 93, 94% since we took office, and they're pretty much normally priced now.
Okay, I just went to the grocery store. That is not my personal experience. Now, I am a big city reporter.
You are indeed.
And it's possible that he's being misinformed by people, but a 93 or 94 or 87% drop in egg prices since he took office?
Yeah, so as you know, having gone to a store and everyone else who's gone to a store knows, none of those numbers is anywhere close to correct. So let's start with retail prices, the prices that shoppers are actually paying. In March, those rose to a record high, $6.23 per dozen. That's about a 26% increase from the month President Trump returned to office in January. Now, we don't yet have the April data. That's important. We may well have seen, I would say probably saw a decline this month. We don't know how much.
Because they're importing some eggs, right?
They are importing. There's a whole plan to reduce the prices. However, we know that it's nowhere near 87, 93, 94%. If it was a 93% drop, Jake, from the month President Trump took office, eggs would be selling for less than 38 cents per dozen. We know that's not the case. Now, if you talk to the White House about this, they'll point to wholesale prices, not the prices people are actually paying. Those wholesale prices have dropped dramatically since the week he took office, about 52%. But again, those aren't the prices consumers are paying. Second of all, 52, while big, is not 87, 93, or 94.
For eggs, you're talking?
For eggs,
For 52. Okay. Yeah. The president has also just generally been talking about grocery prices going way down. Mm-hmm. Way down, that's his term, way down. This is something we've heard him say multiple times over the past week, including today.
Groceries are down. Groceries have come down. It's all coming down. Prices are down. Groceries are down.
So look, it's April. I'm not saying any of this is his fault, like in terms of the current prices. He's only been president for not even 100 days. Right. But are grocery prices down?
They are not down. Okay. Absolutely not down. First of all, they generally rise just with normal inflation, leaving aside the tariffs he imposed on pretty much every country in the world, 10% in early April. But even through March, before the tariffs took effect, prices were up. So in March, we had a 0.49% increase over February average grocery prices. People might say, oh, 0.49%, that's not very big. That's actually the biggest month-to-month jump, Jake, since 2022, October 2022. In terms of year-over-year comparison, that March price was about a 2.4% increase over the previous March. So we're talking substantial increases. Again, I'm not blaming President Trump for that. You're not blaming President Trump, but it's going up, not going down.
All right, Daniel Dale, keeping him honest. Thank you so much.